Welcome everyone. I'm going to go over another match from the recent Plat Hat Games tournament with the release of the Avians and the Cloaks. And this time I'm playing Polar Dwarves against aaronvw8's Savanna Elves. And this was in round 2 of the tournament. And I remember this match is just, I thought was just too unique for me not to cover. I don't think I've ever played a match quite like this before. It ended up being really wild. So I thought I just had to go over it. And yeah, this was difficult. This was a difficult pairing because getting your Polar Dwarves matched up against Savanna Elves is about the worst thing that can happen here because I feel like that's Polar Dwarves' hardest matchup. But I mean, it's still probably around, I don't know, around even or maybe slightly in Savanna Elves' favor, somewhere in that area. But you know, you're gonna have to work for the win, and it's gonna be a fierce battle. So it always makes for interesting matches. All right, let's get it started. So I get the starting move, and yeah, I'm pretty happy here to have an Ice Smith in the starting hand. Like, to have the Ice Smith to kill the Lioness in the beginning is pretty important. That's a big way to gain momentum here already in the beginning. And like, I guess in general, my approach in this matchup is just to keep moving forward as fast as possible. Like, I just want to close the distance quickly because like I feel like Savanna Elves can kind of outrange you for the most part. Like, they're pretty closely matched with range, but I think you still want to close the distance if so that you can kind of get your Ice Ram Glacial Shift combos a little more maximized, and you know, you do have quite a bit of units that are melee, so getting closer I think overall is better. I also discarded one Bear Cavalry, and I think that's a pretty easy discard, or if you draw one early, like, and that's because I like to build up a good pool of magic just in case I draw a bunch of Ice Golems, like, because you really need to play those Ice Golems if you have them. So let's see how the Savanna Elves respond. Alright, using Weaving to get 2 summons, so that's always a good use of Weaving if you can get 2 summons like that. And wow, even Chance of Growth. Yeah, really boosting up that Lioness to like max power here. We've already got the Lioness up to 5 boosts. Yeah, really, I like this move because it's like establishing like a lot of control in the center. It's like not gonna let me just run over him and plow through here. And you got, it might seem like that's a lot of resources to use to get the Lioness to full boost, but like there definitely is compensation for it because like a fully boosted lion like that is has a lot of threats with entangling and chant of power, so it's pretty hard to go after, you know, without potentially losing a lot of life. So, all right. So my plan here, I'm sure it's just to take out the 2 easy targets. Let's just take out the Archer and the Spirit Mage, and I'm boosting an Ice Smith in the back in the hopes of drawing a Bear next turn or soon. And I really want the Bear because I want to put a Frost Axe on it and go after that Lioness. So yeah, I was thinking if I could take out that Lioness without using too many resources, that'd be a huge win for me. That would really put me in favor, I think. Let's see. I also just discarded a gate there, and like I tend to discard like 1 or 2 gates as Polar Dwarves with most of my games, but I know there's like a lot of players that don't do that, and I think that's maybe just a playstyle preference thing. Like, I don't really like to have as much stuff on the board, like with gates, you know, kind of clogging up my movement since they're not very mobile. But I've also seen players, you know, go gate heavy to pretty good use as well. So I don't know, it seems like both can work. Okay, so we get another Lioness and the second Chance of Growth even. So yeah, really investing all those resources on both of those Lionesses here. And both even have 5 boosts, so that's pretty crazy. So yeah, really just fighting back pretty hard and not letting me run over them here, it looks like. I didn't really draw any of the units that I wanted to here. Like, I really wanted to get like a Frost Mage or like a Bear and at least like chip away at the health of those Lions a little bit. But instead, yeah, like I don't really want to put an Ice Golem out there on the front lines. Like I think they'll just die the next turn and it won't really be worth it. So that's why I wouldn't play that move myself. And like I was definitely strongly considering playing Nadiana here. Like Nadiana's could potentially do some damage, but I guess I didn't really like what the positions looked like with her. But You know, looking back, it's interesting. I noticed I can play a Glacial Shift with Nadiana and get her up to like some crazy 8 attack, and just have her just be this huge cannon here. But I guess I'm so used to to saving Glacial Shift with Ice Ram that I don't ever consider moves like that. Maybe I should, but yeah. Instead, I guess what did I do here? I think I play a pretty quiet move here, and I'm just trying to use as many cards as possible to, you know, cycle through my hand. I just want to be drawing some units here to fight back. And I tend to do this type of play a lot with Polar Doors, where I'll just kind of patiently cycle through my hand until I draw more units, and then, you know, put the units out in the front lines to fight back until they die, and just like a very slow, patient, annoying type of game, I guess. We get yet another lioness. So yeah, just so interesting. And the summoner kind of moving up, putting a gate, pressuring me more. And my parapets are dropping here, which I kind of figured they might. They're really just there to kind of to stall for time right now. And yeah, he used a chance of power to take one down, which is kind of reasonable. I mean, the parapets are so powerful. I can just get so much value from them that yeah, sometimes just like you just feel like you want a chance of power just to take it down because they're so dangerous. At this point, I remember thinking that the coordination of my position was starting to fall apart a little bit. Like I wasn't able to really keep the tight formation like I wanted to anymore. Especially with those two parapets going down. But on the upside though, like the Savanna Elves have had to use a lot of their best events to reach this point. So I feel like if I can somehow push back and somehow stabilize, like I'm definitely in a decent position still. But doing that is easier said than done here because like I mean, if you look at trying to attack any of these lionesses, like they can hit you back really hard no matter which one you target. So they're all just supporting each other so well. So I thought this was just like a really unique position, and just, you know, just the units were well placed. All right, the other problem that I'm facing is that once again I don't have the units that I want to fight back with. So again I just make this kind of quiet defensive move, just trying to be patient until I can draw something a little more useful. And you know, I just do that a lot with Polar Doors. I'm just trying to, even to the point where I'm like placed into an awkward position. Like I'd rather do that than potentially lose value by, you know, putting an ice golem out there that's just gonna die. Okay, Savanna Elves have used the other weaving in order to get even more boosts on this lioness. So now, I mean, we've got units all across the board just with an insane amount of health. Just a whole line of units with 5+ health. So this is going to be hard to strike back from. Even with this, like, I have an Ice Ram now. Ice Ram Glacial Shift finally. So, like, yeah, I mean, even with that combo, like, I'm only taking out maybe one unit with that combo, you know? So there's still tons more health to go through beyond that. But wait, I drew even more ice golems along with this ice ram. Like, I have been holding on to a lot of these ice golems, trying to keep them alive in order to have like a big ice ram glacial shift combo. Didn't know how big I could make it until this happens. So we're about to see what I can do with one ice ram here against an army of huge health units. Just, you know, there was just blockers everywhere, and now I'm just going instead after the summoner. Let's just go straight for the summoner, use glacial shift combo on him. You know what? We can put another ice golem down and start shifting again. I mean, how disgusting is this combo? This is gonna be, I mean, you can already see this is like game ending. Just having two glacial shift ice rams going after the summoner and all these ice golems on the board, like, it's pretty disgusting. yeah, not a move I felt great about doing, but this is just the power of that combo, and like it doesn't happen very often. But yeah, I don't feel like I really earned that victory. I would rather it go down to like a more fierce fight back and forth. But I guess that's just what Savanna does. Like she just does not play by the same rules as everyone else. That was a well played match for my opponent. I hope you enjoyed watching that, and stay tuned for more.